How's it going, Ayo? In this video, we're going to talk about Anna Wintour snubbing Kim Kardashian on camera, the Tupac mystery getting solved, and Taylor Swift attending yet another NFL game. Alright, now we're pretty used to seeing some awkward Kim Kardashian moments, but this was especially uncomfortable. The famed Vogue editor Anna Wintour looked visibly annoyed at Kim when she arrived extremely late to Paris Fashion Week over the weekend. Kim left guests waiting for her entrance at Victoria Beckham's Spring Summer Show, which was held in an 18th century Parisian townhouse. This was once home to the late Chanel designer Karl Lagerfeld. Along with Kris Jenner, Kim was seen awkwardly scuffling to her front row seat about 47 minutes after the show was due to begin, which caused a significant delay. The thing is that the organizers had to wait for her appearance before they could kick off the show, so it's no wonder that Anna was a little upset. I mean, she was almost an hour late. A video of the incident has since gone viral on Twitter, and it really put things into perspective. When Kim first arrives, she warmly greets David Beckham and seems to say something along the lines of, "I feel so bad." At this point, you can actually see Anna Wintour getting even more annoyed. She was sitting right next to David Beckham, and she very clearly chose not to welcome Kim as she walked in. Instead, she sat coldly with her arms crossed while she took a seat beside her. To make matters worse, there was another video filmed after this initial snubbing, and it looks like Anna chose to move seats momentarily right after Kim sat down. Even if that was just a pure coincidence, it seems like she was genuinely really upset and didn't even want to sit next to her anymore. Eventually, she does return to her seat though for the remainder of the show, which is when we see Kendall Jenner walking the runway. But what is it that actually happened here, and how did things get so awkward between them? As we know, Kim has worked with Anna several times over the years. In fact, she was on the cover of US Vogue like 3 times. But it has been said that their working relationship hit a very public road bump last year. Because last year at New York Fashion Week, a very similar thing happened where Anna appeared to snub Kim while she was greeting Sarah Jessica Parker. At that point, she completely ignored her even when she was standing right there. While it doesn't seem like Anna would go out of her way to be unkind to someone, being ignored like that can really hurt, and simply not acknowledging someone's presence generally tends to get your point across. To add to that, there were all these reports ahead of the 2023 Met Gala that she had decided to crack down on the guest list and not invite the Kardashians. Of course, Kim, Kendall, and Kylie still ended up scoring invites, but even then, people thought it was just in response to all the backlash. Since 1995, Anna has decided who makes the guest list for the gala, which is held annually on the first Monday in May, and it helps to raise funds for the Metropolitan Museum of Art's Costume Institute. For years, the Kardashians have been invited and are well known for not disappointing in the wardrobe department. But for whatever reason, reports emerged that they were no longer going to be invited. Khloe has previously shut down rumors of not being invited to the gala. So back in 2019, she took to Twitter and responded to a fan who suggested that she might have gotten snubbed, and she said, "Absolutely not true." Then during last year's series, The Kardashians on Disney Plus, she revealed that she turned down invitations in the past because of her anxiety of appearing on red carpets. Kim had a similar experience the first time she attended the Met in 2013. She said she actually cried after the event because she didn't know anyone and she was so sure that no one wanted her there. The thing is, she'd been trying to score an invite for years, but the fashion world did not accept her. And when that happens, there's no amount of money or fame that can help you. In Kim's case, it's because she just wasn't taken seriously. Even the late Karl Lagerfeld seemed to have an issue with her, and he had no problem discussing it. When Kim was robed in her Paris hotel room in 2016, Lagerfeld was one of the first people to criticize her. He spoke to The Telegraph and said, "I don't understand why she was in the hotel with no security. If you're that famous and you put all your jewelry on the internet, then you go to a hotel where no one can come near to the room. You cannot display your wealth and then be surprised that some people want to share it with you." Despite his harsh comments on what would have been a very traumatic experience, Kim still remembered him fondly when he passed away in 2019 at the age of 85. She posted photos of the two of them on Instagram and wrote, "We lost a true legend. You were such an inspiration to the world. You shot my first fashion shoot and I was so nervous to work with such an icon. The world is so much nicer because you existed. I am beyond honored to have met you and had the opportunity to work with you. You are so loved and will be missed." Although not everyone was happy with the way that she went about it, considering that most of the photos Kim posted were more like modeling photo shoots, and she neglected to include Karl's name in the caption. But hey, I guess it's the thought that counts. Now, did you hear that police have arrested and charged a man involved in Tupac's death? This development marks an unlikely breakthrough in a case that has seemed unsolvable 27 years after it happened. Nevada police detained a man called Dwayne Keith Davis, who goes by the name Keith D, and a grand jury indicted him in the attack and subsequent passing of Tupac. Davis has been known to investigators for a long time. He admitted in interviews and in his 2019 memoir that he was in the Cadillac with the person who actually pulled the trigger. He is now the first person to be arrested in direct connection with the case. He was also charged with the intent to promote, further, or assist a criminal criminal gang. His arrest and indictment came after police got a search warrant for his place in Henderson, Nevada. But the question still remains, why on earth did it take this long? Well, Las Vegas police have said that the case was hampered by a lack of cooperation from witnesses. But what's really interesting is that independent investigations ended up uncovering significantly more information than what was revealed by law enforcement. These days we know a lot more about how the events unfolded. So back in May of 1996, Orlando Anderson allegedly attacked Trayvon Lane at a shoe store. On September 7th, after a boxing match between Mike Tyson and Bruce Seldon in Las Vegas, Lane told Tupac that he saw Anderson in the lobby. The two of them then led an attack on Anderson that security cameras captured. Tupac then returned to his hotel room before leaving to perform at a charity event. While he was en route, a white Cadillac pulled up to the passenger side of his car. The person rolled down the rear seat window of the Cadillac and fired, which hit him 4 times. He was deeply wounded in his right lung, and he was taken to the University Medical Center of Southern Nevada to receive treatment. He passed away 6 days later after the removal of his lung caused respiratory failure and cardiac arrest. Anderson was arrested about 1 month later. Investigators identified him as the man in the surveillance footage, but they did not charge or arrest him because they believed the person in the footage could not have pulled the trigger. At the time, the lieutenant told reporters that he was not a suspect. 2 months later, a member of Tupac's group Outlaws was attacked in Irvington, New Jersey. He was the same guy who was riding in the car behind him and witnessed the initial attack. At first, he refused to cooperate with police, but he later said that he could possibly identify the assailants. Unfortunately, he passed away before he was interviewed. A glimmer of hope then came when Tupac's bodyguard Frank Alexander claimed that he was in the car directly behind him when this all took place. He said he saw the person's face and could identify all 4 men in the vehicle. Police really believe that this could be the breakthrough in the case, but by September of 1997, 1 year after it happened, Las Vegas police announced that they still had no leads. Eventually, Tupac's mother, Afeni Shakur, sued Anderson for wrongful death. She was frustrated by the lack of progress in the case. Her lawyer famously said, "The Las Vegas police have as much interest in solving this crime as the man on the moon. I believe I cannot do any worse than they have." Fast forward to 2009, and Davis, the man arrested today, was questioned by police in connection with the passing of Notorious Big. This is when he confessed that he was involved in the case. In a recording of the interview, Davis claimed that Anderson was involved. Then 10 years later, in November of 2019, a retired police detective who worked on the Notorious Big case confirmed to CBS News that Davis confessed to his involvement in Shakur's passing while being questioned in connection with the other investigation. Former death row bodyguard James McDonald claimed in April that he saw Anderson arrive at Club 662 in a white Cadillac on that day. In the USA Network documentary Unsolved, Davis actually admitted that he was in the front passenger seat of the car, but he declined to name the perpetrator. He claimed the car was driven by Terrence Brown, and that Anderson and DeAndre Smith were in the back seat, but by then, all 3 men had passed away. So over the years, there was a lot of twists and turns in the case, and hopefully now there might be some kind of closure, even if it is 27 years too late. Last but not least, Taylor Swift is bringing all of her friends to watch Travis Kelce play. She brought the entire squad to his game with the Kansas City Chiefs against the New York Jets on Sunday evening. Sophie Turner was there too, along with a group of celebrities like Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and Hugh Jackman. She looked absolutely amazing, wearing a pistachio green sleeveless top with black sunglasses. Taylor looked beautiful as well, wearing a black full-sleeve top with denim shorts, and it seemed like she is really getting into the NFL life. On Saturday, she went out to dinner with Sophie, Blake, and Brittany Mahomes. And these events are getting a lot of attention lately. Taylor was also seen getting into the game as the Kansas City Chiefs battled the Chicago Bears. She enthusiastically cheered Travis on in the VIP section right next to his mother Donna. She was wearing all red and white to show her support for the team and looked like she was just having a blast watching the game. The two of them then left the stadium together in Travis's vintage convertible, and they spent some time together at a private after party in Kansas City. At that same place, there were several eyewitnesses who saw them kissing and cuddling all throughout the evening. So at that point, they were really not hiding the fact that they were dating. Talk of their romance first started when Travis revealed on his podcast that he tried to get Taylor's attention at her KC concert with a friendship bracelet that had his phone number on it. Unfortunately, Taylor had left the stadium before he could give it to her, but she did find out about it after that conversation went public. As speculation started to grow, Travis's brother Jason stoked the flames further during an interview where he called the dating rumors 100% true and said that Travis and Taylor are doing great together. Eventually, Travis addressed the rumors in his own interview and said, "I threw it out there, I threw the ball in her court." And clearly, whatever he was doing worked out just fine. While fans are very happy for Taylor and her new romance, there has also been some interesting reports that have come out about Travis in the wake of this news. For one thing, his ex-girlfriend claimed that he cheated on her years ago, and he will most likely do it again. Maya Benberry dated Travis for several months back in 2016. Now she's come out of the woodwork to expose him. She spoke to Daily Mail recently and straight up said that he was unfaithful to her during their relationship. She said, "Taylor seems like such a fun girl with a beautiful spirit, so I wish her the best of luck, but I wouldn't be a girl's girl if I didn't advise her to be smart." Of course, Travis has now denied these accusations and accused her of just trying to get her 15 minutes of fame, but fans have not been able to ignore her comments completely. So what do you guys think about that? Please let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next video.